Hi, it's Ron Brown with your Being Truly Well Minutes for today. Today I'm going to talk about something that we all want, what we truly desire from within. Once we get in touch with that embryonic truth of who we really are, we become authentic with ourselves. It's very key that we focus our energies on what we truly desire, our dreams, our passions, so that they can become reality by vibrating a higher level of energy. You may have heard this concept before. You might have even seen the movie The Secret. You may have just never even heard this before, and if so, well, welcome to it. But I'm going to quote from somebody that you probably never heard of before. I know a lot of the famous quotes that are out there about vibrational truth, but I'm going to quote from somebody from the 19th century, a playwright by the name of Sir James M. Barrie. And you probably never heard of him, but he had this quote that I found that just hits home here. And it's, "Dreams do come true. If we only wish hard enough, you can have anything in life, if you will sacrifice everything else for it." Think about that. Let that soak in a little bit. Dreams do come true. If we only, that's the key, wish hard enough. You can have anything in life if you will sacrifice everything else for it. The difference between people who achieve great in this world are those that are, number one, very passionate down to the core of their bones. Remember, we said passion should never be your roommate. It should permeate every part of you. But what are you passionate about? You could be a very passionate person and not have what you need in life because you're moving between things back and forth and over. But if you clearly know what you want and you put all your energies on it and you really focus on what you truly want to have and let it permeate from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind, it will come to fruition. Now, something I want to talk about that's a lot of people mention this, but you may not have heard it. Again, if you have, bear with me, is that our subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between positive and negative. I want, I don't want. So if you say to yourself in the morning, I don't want to be late for work, I don't want to be late for work, I don't want to get stuck in a traffic jam, your subconscious mind only hears be late for work. It doesn't hear the don't. I know it sounds silly, but that's truly how our subconscious mind works. So if you focus something enough in your mind of what you don't want, that's exactly what you're going to get. So what you have to do is clear your thinking so that all you're thinking about, all you're focused on, is what you truly want. Take action steps toward it with deep desire and great passion. And always, 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 every day, be moving ever closer toward it. It will come to fruition. Things will light up for you. You'll see pathways exposed to you. You know, I've sometimes go hiking, not in a while, but when I was younger, I used to do this quite a bit. I would go hiking, and when I was in the Air Force in the Black Hills, I used to love to go up to the Black Hills near Mount Rushmore, and there was this wonderful place that had a pathway. And I was there with a friend of mine named Wayne, and we said, wonder where this path goes. So we went, and I just had a feeling that this was going to be the most glorious thing, to find out where this pathway went. It wasn't a defined path. It was just somewhere where someone had stepped on the weeds before. And we walked down there, and we walked up, and we found this wonderful, truly wonderful little segment of a cliff that was carved out like a bowl. And when we stepped up on top of it, we sat there. It was large enough that he went on his side of it and I went on my side of it. And we just sat there and we literally felt the universe was there with us. The presence of God or the universe or whatever you believe in was there. When we looked over the edge, you could see deer running through the woods. There was a lot of birch trees there. And I know that I would go back there a couple times without my friend Wayne because I enjoyed going there, because I truly felt at peace. And there was another place in South Dakota that I truly enjoyed that really gave me that same feeling. And why am I talking about this? Well, I'm going to talk about how we need to have that in our mind, a place of peace. And you need to find it where you live, where you are, where you can meditate and focus. But the other place I found was with a Baptist student union that I was with back then in the Air Force. And it was with the School of Mines and Technology. And I remember they said, we're going to take you out to this place where we're going to go swimming. And I said, okay. So we went. We followed in cars. And it was before Keystone, before Rockerville, but after the Gravity Hill. And to this day, I would love to find this place again. I would go out to South Dakota if I knew where to find it. But we pulled over to the side of the road, and I remember we hiked through the woods. And as we're hiking through the woods, I kept saying to myself, how much further? How much further? How much further do we have to go before we find this wonderful place? Think about what I'm saying here. But all of a sudden, I saw pink. It was a beautiful light shade of pink coming through as I walked closer and closer. And as the way made clear unto this opening, there was this truly magnificent sight that made me feel so at peace. It was a natural waterfall and pond with fish swimming in it, made entirely, God or universe made, out of rose quartz. And I believe in the vibrations of crystals, and I know that sounds a little hippy-dippy, but I truly believe in them. And rose quartz is famous for attracting love and peace and joy in your life, and I've always loved rose quartz. It's something that just makes me feel at peace when I'm near it. Well, this had such a high vibration because it was a huge pond. Everyone else that was there with me, jumped in the water. They started swimming around. I stood there in what seemed an eternity and looked at the fish swimming in such a clear water with the rose quartz there that I could see them moving, and their movement was like a vibrational prayer of joy. I felt so good sitting there and standing there. I started out standing there, and then I sat down and I just looked. And I couldn't jump in the water. I couldn't be like everyone else. I couldn't enjoy playing when I felt such peace. And instead, I just went on a vision quest there. I felt so in love with the universe, with the joy, with the flow of everything in that moment. And we stayed there a couple hours, and I never dipped into the water. I just sat and stood there, and I kept looking at it, and its beauty and the vibrational pull of such wonder. I've always loved the state of South Dakota because of its deep spiritual history, from the American Indians all the way up to just the amount of natural crystals and wonderfulness that's there. But in that one place, that rose quartz and waterfall, and I don't even know the name of the place. I didn't even find out, because when we left there, I didn't even ask, how do I get back here again? I was in awe of it all. Why am I mentioning that? I don't know, it just came to mind. But you need to find for yourself a state of mental bliss where you are focused on nothing but what you truly desire. And keep focused on it. Let it just pull you in with such angst of desire that you will be drawn there again. Let me tell you something. When you dream in life, some people fantasized in their lives. They imagine things. But they don't hold on to that vision. They let it go. It could be fantasize of people that they'd love to be with, physically, sexually. Or there could be a vision of just it would be nice if, or ooh, what if I bought the winning lottery ticket, or what if I did this, or what if I did that? But they don't hold on to the vision. I was watching two things last night. One was a series on vibrational truth by Bob Proctor, and I was watching it on YouTube, and it was really good stuff. And then I watched a video on Will Smith and his true passion and desire for grasping onto what he truly wanted. He said, and if you really hold on to that vision, that it'll be like waters going around rocks. Nothing's going to stop you from achieving it. And I know deeply within my heart that this year has been pivotal for me. I've been spiritually aware for a long time. Even from when I was a little kid, I remembered knowing that there was much more that we could achieve in our lives if we truly believed it. But I had so much emotional baggage. My bags were packed full. Limiting beliefs, whispers of messages from people that have said things to me carelessly, maybe not intentionally, but carelessly. And as I unpacked those baggage over these years, and truly saw things for what they were, and got rid of those whispers and replaced them with positive messages, I see the empowerment of what can be. So, what is your place of rose quartz? Where is your peace, your solace, your place that you go when you meditate, or when you go out and you walk in beautiful nature? It's the time of the year where the season's changing. The leaves here in Elkton, Maryland have almost all fallen or turned brown. But I still like the fall. Why? Because that crisp morning air is, to me, life. When you take it in, that chill of the air hits you and refreshes you and revives you and calls you to action. So daily, I want you to encourage you to write down, read it aloud, say it over and over and over again, what your true embryonic truth is that you know. And as you do that and you move toward it, more of it will unfold. It will become clearer and clearer to you. I know what I want in life, and I want to help so many people. I want to be able to share the joy, the universe, the laughter, and also the vision of where others can head. What's yours? What are you passionate about? Are you focused on it? Dreams do come true if only wish hard enough. If we only wish hard enough, you can have anything in life if you'll sacrifice everything else for it. What is the everything else that you're sacrificing? Some people have what I call idle time. With me, sometimes it's television. Sometimes I'll have the TV on and I won't turn it off again. And it's just there and it's playing in the background. And every time I do that, I feel guilty. Because I think, what else can I be doing? What else can I be focusing on? And then I have to turn the TV set off and start working on it. So you have to prod yourself, sacrificing everything else. What are the things that are not important to you? And I'm not talking about sacrificing your family. I'm not talking about sacrificing anything except things that don't matter in the whole of time. So many people are hooked on video games, and they have their place, their way of enjoyment. I enjoy some comedy shows. There's quite a few of them out there, improv shows, and I love watching them because they make me laugh from inside and connect. And those shows I watch in particular because I love improv. In fact, I tried out for Comedy Sports in Philadelphia, made it to the semifinals of it, didn't make the team, but I wouldn't trade that experience for anything, in knowing that I have what it takes. And I didn't make the final cut, but boy, I sure enjoyed that experience, and it gave me a fervor for making people laugh and for getting people to see things, that you can act before them and unfold before them. It's a life lesson. So what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to focus on? if you try things that are connected to your vision, if it's a small thing, like me trying out for comedy sports, and that's been some years ago, I miss that. I want to do that again. I want to make the team. So if I get back to the Philadelphia area, if that's the will of the universe, that that's where my job would be, in that area, I'm going to try out for comedy sports again. And I know I can vision anything, and it will come to pass. Now, you can't wish for a certain person to love you, because there is free will in this world. So, as much as you could focus on and say, I want this person to love me, no. But what you can do is you can write out, hey, I want a person who is kind, compassionate, who really gets me, who really loves the person I am, who shares the vision of what I want to do in my life and wants to be there with me, who's equally passionate about their own life and yet truly can grow together. That's what I want in a partner, and I hope I find them. I know I'll find them. I don't have to hope. I know. And I visualize them. There are things called vision boards, and I haven't created one in a while. I have virtual ones. But what I would encourage you to do is to do a physical one and a virtual one. Physical one would be where you cut out things from a magazine that are like houses you want, or a car you want to drive, or maybe a thing you want to do for your career, and paste them on a board and keep it in front of you. Visualize it. So your bedroom's the best place actually to keep those, but in a way so when you wake up every morning it's the first thing you see. Or maybe it's a little cutout and you have it taped to a mirror in your bathroom. Those are good things to do. You can also make an electronic version of it, take a snapshot of it, and make it your wallpaper on your computer so it's always ever before you. So those are little things you can do. But what are you willing to give up? Everything else. You have to sacrifice everything else. But when you realize that the everything else is not really what you want, it's not really a sacrifice, is it? You know, there are Olympic athletes, and I truly love watching, especially the Winter Olympics. And I'll admit it, I like Summer Olympics too. But in the Winter Olympics, I hear so much of the stories of the athletes trying to win the gold medal and, you know, going out for the gold medal. And I hear their deep passion. I remember in particular the story of Anton Ono, and when his father took him up to a cabin and locked him in the cabin and left him there because he didn't know if he wanted to continue doing speed skating. And his father said, you think about it. Until you have the answer, you're not leaving here. And he left him up there for a few days. And it gave him time with himself. How wonderful to have a father like that. That's not abuse. That's a father that cares enough for you to be passionate about what you do and to make sure it's what you really want and dedicate the time to it. Because if you really want to be the best at what you do, if you want to see things to truly become true, you have to be willing to sacrifice for them. And his father knew that if he took time and gave him days, and I mean days, in that cabin in the woods, that he would follow through, that he would think about it, that he would come up with the proper resolution for himself, which was, yes, I want this, I gotta have this, I gotta continue. And then came all those gold medals and silver medals. And you know, how wonderful an example is he? The father and the son. So, it's great when you have people that support you in things, but if you don't support yourself, what good is it? So, today I want you to dream and make them come true and sacrifice the things that really don't matter. Keep the things that do and truly become what you're meant to be. This is Ron Brown for your Being Truly Well Minutes. Have a great day.